So this month we're in North Carolina with Nick from Velox Training.
Dude, thank you for having me.
Absolutely, bud. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
So my name is Nick Young from Velox Training Group. I basically travel all over the country teaching civilians, military, law enforcement, etc. on how to shoot faster and more accurate. I've got a background in competitive shooting, everything from 3-gun to like DMR matches, Steel Challenge, USPSA, and I'm currently a USPSA M-Class carry optic shooter.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and break down what we're doing today. We're gonna talk about the why and some of the reasons we like to train this drill. And then we're gonna break down those individual skills a little bit, followed up by a nice little training session where I'm sure we'll have some good outtakes, you know what I mean, at the end. So let's get ready for drill number 2 in our series. So the setup for our targets, here on the left, we've got our full silhouette right here, USPSA target. Standard height is usually 5 foot at the shoulders, you know, give or take. We're not gonna be too stringent about it. Targets are spaced roughly a yard apart or about 3 feet. And then over here with your no shoot, we want you to line this one up so the head box, the top of that target lines up right on the edge of the perf. And then we go back and we see our shooting sticks.
So we'll talk about our shooting positions here. Your first stick is going to be at 5 yards. Your second stick is going to be at 10 yards. In between the 10 and the 5 is going to be your shooting positions. And then your start position is going to be at 25.
So as we come back to the 25, our setup here is hands relaxed at sides or wrists below belt, right? With that said, you can run this outside the waistband like we are. Hell, man, you can run it concealed. Like, we don't care, man. There's no real rules and all that stuff behind it. Run it with your setup. Once the buzzer goes off, shoot 2 rounds on each target between the 10 and the 5, moving the entire time. Yeah, then add it up and hit factor. That's pretty much it, and submit it to us.
Dig it.
Submissions and Prizetable. Make sure when you guys video this, 1, you tag us in it, you make us a collaborator so we can see it, mark it, we got your hit factor that you put in the description, and we can put you on the leaderboards. Make sure we can see the actual layout of the range and your hits and the shot timer. Other than that, at the end of every month, don't forget, Leupold, Vertx, BAER Solutions, and Agonic, we're gonna be giving stuff away. So you're gonna have your choice, first come, first serve, in order of a Leupold DP Pro, a $500 gift card to Vertx, the BAER Wojtek belt, or an Agonic everyday belt, the EDB. So take those videos, submit them to us, let's have a good time. This drill cut came from another drill that we used to do. What it had to do with was they collected a lot of data over in Iraq back when I was in, and they said, what's the average shot inside of a house, right? Once you're in there, and it was about 7 yards, right? And potentially, give or take, that could probably apply to a home defense scenario too, or whatever it is. So they said, can you move from the 10 to the 5 and shoot, you know, a full silhouette target, which they call an AP, or excuse me, HP, which is high percentage, or a low percentage target, which is kind of like the hostage style, right? Shoot both of them on the move. Fair enough. What we did was we added the run from the 25 there because I don't train that very often, right? You know, like,
sure.
So we see that a lot. There's a great video from Erik making a case for practical shooting in law enforcement or something like that. And he shows a lot of these cops having to slow down, you know, get that gun up and get on target before they take those shots. And honestly, it's just not something I train a whole lot. It's like, we should probably do that. You know what I'm saying?
I dig it a lot. I mean, hell, man, there's even times in competition where you will literally sprint to a position. So I think it's very practical.
Yeah. And think of it too, like if we want to get down into that whole scenario, tactical-ish kind of thing. Sure. It's like, hey man, performance is performance. You got to be able to do it all. You know what I mean? Like movement is movement. However, like relate that to yourself somehow. You probably might, an officer might have to respond. As a homeowner, you might have to too. That's fine, man. But at the end of the day, we're just working out and we're at the gym here on the range and we're trying to do as much as we can and train all those different skills.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and break down our skills now, right? And one of the things that we talked about, Nick, was there's kind of 3 main components to this. 1, the exit from our starting position. 2, the entry into your shooting zone or box, right? Or that deceleration to be able to get the gun up. And then 3, how we're focusing on those targets with the shooting, right? So let's go ahead and break down the exit first from the starting position. So 1, you and I both kind of like, as soon as that buzzer hit, boom, we go for our gun and we draw it. And we kind of draw a little bit different, right? Sure. You like to scoop draw, and I'm like, I've been working on it. It's getting slightly better, but I'm not there yet, right? So I draw it a little bit more traditionally. What do you find? Is there anything that, as you leave this position, that you think about, or you try and tie that scoop to that first step? Is there anything you kind of go through on that?
So first thing I would think about with that is before I start moving my hips around, because as soon as I start running and moving my hips, the gun is moving around. So before I even take off, I want my hand to be on the gun, right?
point.
This way the gun isn't moving around and I'm trying to like,
Find
get
it.
a good grip on it while it's moving around. And so for me, like just coming up into the gun first and then taking off is going to be the way that I would want to go about it.
That's a good point, man. Because you hear a lot of it, it's like the sooner I step, the sooner I'm off the line, right? Which is cool, but if you pull out your gun and you do one of these, right? Like that's no good. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, I mean, it's good in like, CSI New York or something, but not, on TV. But with that, so that's a good point, man. One thing I noticed too, so we kind of stand a little bit different. I tend to be a little bit more squared up with like my hips pointing straight forwards. And I like to put a lot of the weight on my lead foot so I can push off the lead foot a little bit more and swing that back leg forward. I notice you kind of post up here, right? So you can push off that.
Yeah, I push off the back foot.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's interesting, man. And I noticed too, when you've got that foot cocked to the side here, you can push off a little bit better. And that's probably has a lot to do with your draw and everything too, right?
For
It's
sure.
natural where you're at.
Yeah, again, I prioritize like getting my hand on the gun for, consistency purposes.
Yeah.
So like the way I'm gonna post up in this in my start position is gonna try to play to like, hey, I need to be very, very consistent, as I go to draw the gun. So again, like you said, if your hand lands in a weird spot, it's like, man, you're trying to fix that on the run down there. And if you're trying to fix your grip on the way down to that shooting position, like how fast are you actually going to be running? Or are you going to be thinking about like, oh shit, like my grip really sucks on this thing.
Yeah. Well, you've got 15 yards of full sprint to get that hand in place. So hopefully you figure it out by then. But yeah, man. So I think either one's fine. And I would say probably try it out for yourself, right? 6 in one, half a dozen in the other. The big key to that start, and if you go back to that video we did with Justin a little while ago, just scroll back. I don't know, it was like 2-3 videos ago. Justin's an awesome guy, by the way. Super cool. So he's a strength conditioning coach. I think it's fine, but the main thing we want to avoid is whether I tend to load on that front foot a little bit more and square up so I can push off more like a sprinter, or if I like to post up like Nick does to push straight off. One thing he's not doing and I'm not doing, as soon as that buzzer hits, we're not rocking back onto the heel and then going. Because if you think about it, that's an entire step.
Yeah.
And I used to be really bad about that until Justin was like, hey, dude,
Yeah.
that's dumb.
Well, it's
I was like,
something
"Oh,
that you see all the time.
Yeah.
Whether it's a match or whether it's a class, like someone will get in a start position, just basically stand here like they're like trying to pay for groceries. And then the timer goes off and then they do the whole like drop down, kick a foot back and then try to go. And it's like, man, you are just burning time doing that stuff.
Yeah. Everything is time, right? Like speed is a product doing things more efficiently and sooner. I've heard that before, steps or time, you're just trying to get ahead or whatever. So yeah, man, I think whichever way you try it both out, find what works for you and find what makes you the quickest. But the big thing is whether you're squared up more in the sprinter stance or whether you like to post up on that back foot here, remember, get to that gun on like before you start stepping to make sure it's consistent and ensure that you're not going to rock back too much. Anything else you think to add on that?
Oh, dude, I think we covered it. That was great.
Cool. So now we're going to get into our second skill, right? And this is the part that's probably going to get you at first, right? So you kind of figure it out. And so part of that is, one, we're entering into the shooting area, right? But that skill is really decelerating and getting our feet underneath you.
Yep, for sure. I think, coming off of a dead sprint to like decelerate and hey, you have to shoot right now can be pretty challenging.
Yeah. I would say so too, and especially when your mindset is go, 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 and then you've got a downshift from 4th gear to 2nd gear, and get that gun up soon. So for me, like when we were doing, what was that first one we said? I got the gun up too late. I was decelerating and then getting in the gun up versus getting the gun up as I'm decelerating into it and entering into the box, right? And that's going to make you shooter ready a lot sooner.
So I think some of the biggest things to think about with this entry into this position, right, is when do you start slowing down? What do you do with your feet? And what should you be doing in terms of aiming the gun? So when you should be starting to slow down and think about, getting the gun up is maybe 2 steps before this stick. I think as a general rule, when you're at home exploring this, maybe 2 steps before this stick, you start maybe chopping your feet, right? Trying to sink your hips down, get your hips underneath you. And then the other thing that I would think about in terms of the entry piece is stepping as softly as possible. If you move like a 10-month-old baby learning how to walk, everyone can picture that in their head.
Yeah.
Like the gun is probably going to bounce all over the place. But if you like try to get into this position, sink your hips underneath you, and then try to step with your knees bent to try to take up some of that, you know, shock or whatever, I think what people will start to notice is the gun just basically tracks nice and easy, and it would be way easier to shoot with the gun not bouncing around.
And another way to think about that too is I like to think soften the entry, right?
Yes.
Make it as soft as possible, because the harder that is and the straighter your legs are and the more you're stomping in, right? You've got to control that speed in. And if you're a bigger dude, right, like you might need to start slowing down and chopping those steps 3 or 4 steps out. You know what I mean? You're a lighter person, maybe, you know, 2 or 1. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you can do that quicker. But make that as soft as possible. And that's another way to say that, right?
Absolutely.
So getting that gun up, coming in, what do you think about, so one thing that helps me, right, and that I kind of started picking up and doing in some competitions and bouncing off other guys, is that I look to the point on the ground that I'm running, and at that point, that's where I'm gonna start slowing down, avert my eyes, and present the gun. So if you're having trouble with that and you keep doing it too late or something like that, maybe do a few runs where you look at the ground and mark it, and as soon as you hit that point, I absorb into it, bend those knees, chop my feet underneath, and get everything underneath me as I present my gun and then look towards the target, and that might help you control that as you enter.
For sure. And I think the biggest thing with getting the gun up in an appropriate amount of time is like the sight is going to tell you when you can shoot.
Yes.
Right. And if the gun comes up too late, it's like now you're having to clean up sight picture. The gun came up too late. It's just you're burning time while you're doing that. And so, like Drew said, you see that spot that you're coming into, you look at the place on the target where you're trying to hit, you start pre-aiming the gun. At first, I think it kind of looks like crap as you're coming into position. But again, it's going to tell you when it's appropriate to shoot. And so when you start paying attention to that, you know, getting the gun up a little bit sooner, pre-aimed, I think you'll start looking for those cues that you should be looking for in terms of when you can actually start shooting.
So remember, mark a spot, maybe that's 2 steps out. Look at it is an option for you. Look up and then start presenting the gun as you chop your feet and control and soften that entry, whatever you want to say. And then make sure you present it. And like Nick said, that sight's going to tell you when you can shoot.
The next skill that we're going to talk about is target focus. Why would target focus help you in the shooting piece? Well, what you guys will notice is if you run into a position and you're doing something like looking at the dot and your dot is bouncing all over the place, you will have a very difficult time holding it on a specific piece of the target that you are trying to shoot. Why is it important to shoot a very specific piece of the target? Well, when you have something like that partial down there, it's like you kind of need to look to where you want the bullets to go. And so what you guys will notice is when you start looking at the target, and more specifically where you're trying to put bullets on the target, what you'll notice is you'll perceive the dot to be moving way less as you're coming into the position, so it won't be bouncing around as much, or that'll be your perception. And you will also notice that it's way easier to hold it over the place that you're trying to hit. So I think target focus for all of shooting, but this thing in particular, like, is a really, really good skill to start looking at.
Fair enough, man. And one thing, a buddy of mine down in Arizona, his name's Derling. I think you know him, right?
Yeah, I know Big D.
Big D. It's such a good dude. So
That's
what
his
up,
name,
D?
not a description.
Yeah, Big D. So one thing that he said, and he was like, we were talking about this, and he goes, when you're looking at that point on the target, what you should see is the dot just kind of whipping in and out of that point as you shoot. And that, for some reason, the way he explained that, I was like, oh, that really clicked a lot for me.
Super simple.
Yeah,
Yep.
super simple way to
like
think
it.
about it. So when you're thinking about the target focus, picking that point and noticing the dot, it's taking your attention off the dot so it's not as confusing or too much feedback or whatever. As you shoot, just imagine that dot whipping in and out and to and away and back to that point you're looking at. And I think once you do that, the transition is pretty obvious. You know, there's a lot of stuff out there in transitions. You shoot, eyes lead, gun follows, right? Is there anything else on that you want to do? Or, well, actually, a better question. Do you look and do you shoot that partial target on the right any different than you shot that first one?
Yes, for sure. So the first one that we come into, that open target, I don't need to see as much of a stable dot on that target.
Yeah.
Just because the target allows me to shoot off of, at least for me, like what I'm looking for on that target is just a color of the dot near the place that I'm looking. But that partial, I kind of need to see a little bit more of a dot, or it's not going to be a stop dot, but you need to see more of a dot instead of just a color on that target because of, well, the penalty target that's underneath it, and it's a lot smaller target to hit.
Would you say on that target on the right, that partial, that you want to see the dot settle on that point a little bit more and just for a hair longer to confirm it before you take that shot?
Absolutely. It's just like the way I try to conceptualize it is like I'll look and it's like I have the dot where I want it to, or where I want it to be, and it's like I would just try to be careful in terms of when I press the trigger, like, hey, don't move the gun, dummy. Like, just look, press the trigger. There's the dot again, press the trigger.
Fair enough. Cool. So as we come in, think about how you're looking at the target, thinking about how you're looking at the target in relation to the sight, right? Am I target focused or am I dot focused? You know, so see the sight or see the target and that sight whipping in, eyes lead, gun follows. And as you come over here, obviously a little bit more confirmation on that one, because obviously you don't want to shoot the no shoot.
That would be bad.
Very bad. All right.
See some greatness here.
Let's see some medium, some moderate. Stand by.
Dude, that looked pretty fly.
618.
The shooting was good.
Little bit on that.
one, Charlie.
Right as I crossed that stick, there was that delay.
Yeah.
You know, did you see that?
I did.
Yeah, man. So I think I can clean that up a little bit. That would have got us under the 5. So 2 alpha, or 3 alpha, 1 Charlie. Oh, let me go write that down. See what that is. I don't math, bud. Like, I'm just gonna write it down. Hold on. 1, 6, 18. That was 18 points, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. I'm going to take a stab at it.
You're going to do great.
I hope so.
I believe in you.
I definitely threw that first one right over the head.
Yeah.
But
What's
that
your time,
was a
though?
594.
594.
Yes. It's like right here is where the first one went.
Cool. I see what you mean, though, as you came across. It seemed like you had your gun up quicker than me, so you're taking that first shot sooner.
Yeah, just
You know what
trying
I'm
to
saying?
clean up the sight picture as it comes in. For sure.
Fair enough. Was that your first shot on this one?
The first one was just to the right of the head.
So the first one was the mic.
Yes.
Gotcha. Cool.
Yep.
You think you just got a little quick on that sucker trying to push it?
I pushed on the gun a little bit, and that's one thing I think people should definitely be aware of. Like, if you push the gun, especially to a target like this,
Yeah.
and it lands over here instead of in the middle, it's like, that's bad.
Yeah.
Plenty fast.
Yeah.
You don't need to step on the gas. Like, that was fast. Just shoot the damn target.
Yeah. So I think on this one, like you were saying, I'm gonna try and get that gun up a little quicker.
Yep.
So I think when I'm looking at that point, like we talked about, I'm gonna try and get that gun out, like maybe even before I start slowing down a little bit.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? Okay.
Yep.
Well, let's see what happens, bud.
Drill number 2. Run like
you
you gotta go number 2.
Like you gotta go number 2. All right. Stand by.
.597. I actually picked this up and
Did
back
you?
with you and got the time.
Nice, dude. That's 2 alphas.
That's 2 alpha, yep.
Nice. So 20 points, 597. I might have pulled a hammy on that one.
Saw the timer flying. I was like, no.
Thanks for grabbing it.
Yeah. That was good. Yeah, you had the gun up a little bit sooner.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay. It felt like it. So that difference, I mean, I think just doing that, that's probably 0.2 of a second, maybe quarter second. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Depending on how late you are versus,
Well,
all that. But
I think all of that stuff adds up So if you start looking at just this particular drill, if you're saving a quarter of a second, say you save a quarter of a second on that particular place on a longer drill or stage, right? That adds up to seconds at the end of the day. So
yeah,
I think stuff like this is really good to look at. All right, shoot it again. Try not to pull a hammy. All right, this is a 576.
that's close.
Can I get an overlay? Let me look.
Yeah, go for it. I think it nicked the edge.
And that grease ring.
Yeah, I think you got you.
So
You got an
3
A.
alpha and just barely a Charlie as well.
Did you push that sucker again a little bit?
That
You
was
think you did the same
second
thing?
shot. So the first one I saw it right in the middle, and I was like, "You're doing great.
Yeah.
Don't worry." And then just quit paying attention.
Just took that second one for granted?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Picture like a squirrel swimming in mashed potatoes. That's what my brain is at times.
Of all the things to make an analogy, that one, you know what I mean? Like,
Well, it paints a very clear picture.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm gonna be driving home and be like, have you thought about that, Tom? The squirrel?
That's a new one.
Like,
Swims in mashed potatoes.
yeah, dude.
You can
Little
picture
tail,
it, right? Like just
trying
hauling
to keep
ass,
'em afloat.
but just not going anywhere. You're like,
What was the time on that?
576.
576. I think I'm I think this next time I'm gonna try and, I don't know if I'm over confirming a little bit on the first target.
Maybe
Do you think that might be what's going on?
a little bit, yeah.
Because, okay, I'm gonna try and just put that up and just shoot it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? See what happens. So that time was what again?
576.
How many points?
I dropped to 18 points. That should be high for us, I think.
Let me think about this. So this time, again, look.
Yep.
As soon as up with the gun, I'm gonna not over confirm that first target.
Just like look in that cluster of pasters.
Yeah. All right. Stand by. Pulled that first one.
You pushed it over the head?
Yep. And I was still f***ing late a little bit. I pushed it right over the top, dude. So that was a let me go back. 589.
So sporty time. Very sporty
Decent time. So,
I'm just gonna try to get like a hair more confirmation on the head when I shoot it this time.
yeah. I think that I was trying to get up on this target quicker, carried over to this.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
up holder. So, 13 points minus 10
Yep.
for the mic, so 3.
Yep.
Oh.
Well, I think
When
one
your
of the
points are less than your time, that's not good, dude.
one of the challenging parts about this drill is not only like that sprint and then like, hey, hit the brakes and then start shooting. You're also shooting like a really big target and then one with a penalty underneath it.
Yeah.
And it's smaller. So
Yep.
man, it's definitely changing the modes in which you're shooting in for sure. All right. See if I can make some of these changes here.
What was your time on that? It was like 570?
578 again.
Okay.
I dropped 2 Charlies. That's definitely the way to do it though. Could have shot this one a little bit sooner. This one, I think that was the proper amount of confirmation.
Okay.
It's like I looked to that spot, was like, yep, dot press, dot press.
Real quick, can you pull out your timer? What was your splits on this one and your split on that one?
It was 43 split,
Okay.
54 transition, and then a 42 split.
That's a quick little transition to that. It's not bad at all, especially moving like that. And what was the split on this?
42.
42. So your
It's
speed on
faster
this
than
was
I
the
split
same
the
as
open
that.
target.
Okay.
I think that was appropriate. I think I shot this one a little sloppy.
Do you think maybe that was you were still slowing down on this target, and then here you got your feet under you a little better?
So no, I know that I was thinking about that one.
Okay, fair enough.
So like I'm thinking about the other one and the changes that I wanted to make. Remember that squirrel swimming in mashed potatoes thing?
Yeah,
It's kind of, oops. That thing has almost killed both of us.
I know. You especially.
Yeah, it doesn't like me at all.
Run it a couple more times.
I think so.
What was that time and points?
578 was the time, and then I dropped 4 points, so 16.
Got it.
I don't think that was worth it. Shooting that sloppy on the open target. I think an Alpha Charlie on the head is okay. Like if you're gonna drop a Charlie, that's where it needs to be, not in the open target.
Yeah. All right, let's see what happens. Sooner. Get that gun up sooner.
That's right.
All right, bud. All right, ready? Stand by.
I don't
Catch it
think
again?
I believe it was 566, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
That's where it was on the ground when I picked it up, and you had finished when I picked it up, so.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right, so 566.
Yep.
That one felt good getting the gun up sooner.
Yes. Points are good on the open target, 2 Alpha.
2 Alpha, 2 Charlie. Yep.
Yep. So you dropped a total of 4 points.
All right. I felt like that gun got up quicker this time.
Yeah, it
Does that
did.
make sense?
It did.
So for me, when I was running in, I marked that spot where I'm going to. And then literally it's like, as soon as my foot went forward to that spot, that's where I thought about presenting the gun.
Yep.
Right, so as I kicked the foot forward to slow down, I brought the gun up at the same time as I brought my eyes up. All right, cool, man. Let me write this one down. You wanna do one more?
Yeah.
All
I'll
right,
do
man.
another. Okay. Over the top again. That was really, really sloppy. Really sloppy.
What's your time?
I think I'm just getting tired, to be honest, because we've ran so many times. 583. The first shot went over the top of the head.
We might be getting a little long in the tooth.
Yeah. Time slower, hits getting
Let me ask you a question.
sloppier.
What is the,
That's my excuse.
like, without pushing it, because we're training, right? We're trying to push the limits and get better. Like, you got to know what right is, you got to know what wrong is,
Yeah.
and you got to know right where the limit is. Do me a favor, if you're like, this is a 100%
Easy.
guaranteed, I know I can hit the A zone and
Okay.
shoot the head, because I want them to see that at home.
Yeah.
Because if these guys are running, if some people are out there, they're running the 8s and 9s, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
they're like, dude, I'm still all over the place. It's like, well, you're probably doing it in the wrong, you're probably
Sure.
focusing on the wrong things.
Yep.
So one of those that does not look fast, you know, the
Yeah,
run,
yeah.
you know, got it. But once you get there,
I think it's
very
important to know
controlled
that,
with the show.
you know? Like, I think a lot of the training that I do, and I'm sure you do as well, is like what I call like exploratory type of mode. Like,
Yeah,
hey,
dude.
how fast can we do this? And it's not at a pace in which I can't see, like I can articulate what happened and why,
Yeah, you know.
but like what is the 100% pace? I like it. Okay, you ready?
Yep.
Here we go. So, time difference is a 591, but like all hits on the target, like making sure the hits are actually there where I wanted them to be.
Especially on this guy, right?
Yes, especially
Hyper
on the,
focused on that dude.
Yep.
Let's do it. I'm gonna run one that's like 3/4 pace.
Yep.
And just is like very controlled as it comes in. Like I'm gonna sprint from the start, but once I hit, boom, super controlled, boom, boom, and confirm those sights just to see what it looks like. And I'm wondering if that's probably gonna be sitting around a 7, if I had to guess, like
Yeah,
maybe 6.5, 7.
I think if you could shoot all alpha 6.5, 7 seconds, that would be a pretty sporty time
Okay.
for all alpha.
All alpha, okay.
Yep.
I'm not gonna lie, I might not get all alpha on that head box. That's the one thing, like, I need to work on, like, how I focus on that and really go for it. Because I'm just like, there's the whole head, just shoot the whole head.
Yeah, for sure.
I've never been the type that's like, oh, at least for the past few years.
Yep.
There's a good chance this thing's gonna fly off again. All right.
I'll be right behind you.
Thanks, bud. All right. Yeah, hold on. Yep, we're good. Right. Stand by.
$750. 650. That's a great time.
So really controlled here. I put my dot up on here and I kind of felt it float because I shot this sucker. That's what I shot this one on the step.
Yep.
And that's right as your dot is coming down as your heel makes contact. So that caused this guy. And then this one was like as this back foot was just starting to travel forward. So that dot seemed to flatten out a little bit more.
Yep.
So, you know. Oh my God, I'm not breathing hard. Are you breathing hard?
No, not at all.
Okay.
I'm very conditioned, as you can tell.
I'm not, dude. I'm still trying to burn off all them cinnamon rolls from Christmas. Tom called me fat yesterday. So I was getting a little fluffy.
Yeah.
All right, man. Other than that, I think that's good, dude. Unless we want to run it again or anything.
Yeah, I think it's good.
All right, cool, man. So there's some options, right? When you're training it, anytime you're training, you're always going to try and find where the line is. Push yourself, right? If you're not pulling rounds because you're going too fast, you ain't doing it right. I think of it like the gym, right? So for me, I take these out. If you go to the gym and you bench press 135 pounds for 3 sets of 10, you're going to get real good at bench press 135 pounds for 3 sets of 10. You'll get a little stronger, but you have to reach failure. Your 70s, your 80s, your 90s, you have to find what the failure point is. Otherwise, you can never get past it. It's like what's your old 100% should become your new 90. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And then keep stacking it that way. Anyway, dude, I really appreciate it. I had a great time.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, buddy. We'll do our quick little gear breakdown and get out of here. Gear breakdown. Probably all that stuff you guys are asking in the comments, we're going to put it right here. So if you actually watch this, go down in the comments and tell other people, hey, watch the gear breakdown. Got a little timestamp for it too. But anyway, usually do it. We like to go through everybody's stuff because everybody likes to know what people are shooting.
Sure.
And I actually do too because I've heard a lot of great things about those Walthers.
Yeah, so this is it's a combination of 2 guns essentially. So This started out life as a 5-inch steel frame, 5-inch full-size steel frame Walther PDP. What we've got up top is a 4-inch slide and then a dual port or the Ultra comp from Parker Mount Machine, which having the 4-inch slide on the 5-inch frame allows you to run that comp on there and it doesn't overhang the dust cover on this gun. So super duper fun gun to shoot.
Yeah.
Like this thing is pretty gnarly.
I shot Big D's down there and I was like, oh, these things are pretty slick. And Parker Mountain's a great company.
It is.
What else you got?
I love Parker Mount Machine. So up top we've got a Vertx Defender XL. This is their 3 MOA green dot. Just started playing with the green dots. The jury is still kind of out on the green dot for me personally. It definitely gets my attention a whole lot more than the red dot does. And so that could be good or bad. I found where I like it on transitions because it's really easy to be aware of it a little bit sooner because of how much it stands out. However, if you stare at this thing, it's really, really easy to become dot focused with the green dot. At least that's been my experience. So anyway, playing with it, trying to see how much I like it. But that's pretty much the gun outside of how this thing comes, it's just a steel frame PDP with a Parker Mount Machine comp. Oh, one thing that's might be interesting to people is the silicone carbide grip on this is just the stock steel frame PDP grip that I pulled off and then just put silicone carbide on and then just plopped it back on the gun. So
nice,
a little bit more traction for sweaty hands here in North Carolina. And that's it, man. I've not done anything else to this gun.
Fair enough. Go over your belt setup real quick. Holster brands, all that. Let's give them love because I know that's TXC. We love our guys at TXC. Good people.
The TXC stuff is super dope. It's all riding on a howitzer belt. These howitzer belts I dig quite a bit. And yeah, TXC holster. The hanger, which everyone always asks about, is a Henning Group T1000. When I got this hanger, I was like, I don't know if I need that much adjustment. And then I got it, and then
you really
was like, you know what? I really like that I have this much adjustment in this
I wish they made one for 2-inch belts because I would put one on my BAER belt over here.
They totally should make it for 2-inch belts because
We
I
talked
think a
about-
lot of people would run it.
Yeah.
The first mag pouch on this, I like running the Henning Group mag pouches as well, at least for the first one. And the reason that I like it is because if I have like a barrel start, something like that, where I'm grabbing, you know, 2 mags off of a table, I can just slap it on there. It holds on pretty good. I'm not sure if I would like, you know, fast rope out of a helicopter with it.
Yeah.
But like running around a stage, it's pretty good, and it's nice and fast and easy to grab.
Fair enough, man.
Moving back, we got TXC pouches. I dig the TXC pouches quite a bit. The one thing that I like about the TXC pouches specifically is the amount of modularity that they have built into them.
They do.
Like they thought that through quite a bit. And then a TXC rifle mag pouch
Cool.
on the back. Dump pouch is from Howitzer as well. This is actually, I'll plug my own dump pouch. This is my dump pouch.
Yeah, go buy it.
Howitzer.
Go
You
buy
should
his
go
dump
buy it.
pouch. Shot timer.
Shot timer, Shooters Global. This is their, I'm not sure which version this one is because they've had a couple different iterations, but I believe this is the latest version with the little, I don't know what you call it.
Nipple?
Yeah, nipple.
Yeah.
I wanted to say
We
nipple,
all got
but
'em.
I was
We
like,
all got
I don't know
nipples,
if I should
dude.
say nipple.
It's not dirty.
Yeah, so male and female portion.
Okay, there you go.
And they key into each other. And so this one kind of stays put on the
A little bit better than
thing.
mine, my older one. Kept falling
Yeah,
off.
yep. It's been a good timer. The new ones are also significantly louder than the older ones as well. So I dig that quite a bit.
Fair enough, man. Cool. So you got all your setup there. Over here, same thing. We're just shooting the Staccato P. It's all stock. How it came, just put the DP Pro on it. Right, that's about it. This is a Blade Tech holster. The Blade Tech, if you guys haven't seen these, they're pretty slick. This little disc system they got. So you can adjust that however you want.
Oh,
and then
dude,
it
that's
just,
pretty fly.
you haven't seen these?
No.
The-
I don't know why I haven't seen those.
You're gonna love them because TXC actually have their mags too, and they go on with the same disc system. So same thing there. There's some Blade Tech pouches. Same thing, the mini disc there. Obviously, our friends at Vertx sent us some shorts to show off the thighs. Shooters Global shot timer, and then like always, the BAER Wojtek belt and underbelt system. Other than that, buy t-shirts, buy hats, buy stuff. We both wear Ultras because we coordinated today and we talked about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, man, they're comfy shoes. Wesson watch, Chad, he would really like one too. So other than that, man, that's all we got. So appreciate you. Right, and that's going to make you shooter ready a lot sooner. You got anything?
I didn't think you were done. You want me to just go into like what I would talk about with this?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. His house and his door's locked.
Yeah.
And his voice quivers.
That was
like,
me on Bucky's stop number 2 yesterday. I was on the phone, or no, at the Starbucks. I was on the phone with my wife. She's like, how's it going? I was like, I have to get off the phone. I'm going to shit my pants. And my daughter's laughing in the background. I was like, I'll call you back. And we were like, I was like, no, at a gas station. And I finally found a Starbucks.
Dude, I carry wet wipes for a reason.
Yeah, dude.
Like if there's nothing, I will legit just pull off and freaking put half a cheek on the running board, man.
Might as well.
Yeah.
We've all done it.
Yeah. Okay, here we go.
Delete that motherfucker.
Dude, I just went with it. I was like,
You did? Let's pace that up and do it again. Fucking stick.